This week, we're on location in Salt Lake City, Utah, with one of my favorite wholesalers in the whole world, Esprit Wholesale, here in Salt Lake. Not only is this one of the most incredible cut flower wholesalers in the United States, but it also has one of the most incredible views, the beautiful mountains of Utah right in the background. So this week our project is a special event piece. What we're working with here are some beautiful Manzanita branches. I've never seen such gorgeous Manzanita as the ones that I've seen here at Esprit Wholesale at Salt Lake City. It's perfect with this because I took the designer dome casket saddle and placed my Manzanita branch down in the center of it. Then I've added different spheres all around this and even cut some spheres in half that are going to sit on the table. It's a simple, easy way for us to add those. Let me show you how quick and easy it is to add these spheres to our centerpiece. I simply take a discarded stick, like that. We're going to go ahead and push that right down into the foam, and then we take our sphere and place our sphere on top of that stick. So now that sphere's in place. Each of these were added the same way. In some cases, with the larger spheres, I took a couple of sticks and placed them in, so I had good support so it wasn't going to pull out. Then we'll fill in between these spheres afterwards. But now all we have left to do is add our button pom-poms and cover each one of the spheres. I've taken and cut them short so that I can come in and add them side by side. This takes a little bit of time, but at the same time, by cutting off all of my heads first, I can go through and do this very, very quickly. Again, length is very important, so I've cut these maybe only about 1/2 to 3/4 of an inch long. And we're pushing those directly down inside the foam. So it's a perfect way for us to cover this up. So, I'm going to kick it into high gear and we'll get these covered. There. So thanks to the speed of motion pictures, we can do this in a hurry. Don't you wish it was that easy all the time? So where else but Esprit Salt Lake could I come up with this incredible product? We've got gorgeous green hypericum, green fashion roses, gorgeous green lotus blossoms, brunia, bird's nest fern, leatherleaf, green ranunculus, aurelia, and gorgeous Kiwi Hydrangeas as big as my head. So once all our pom-poms are in place, we're simply going to go back in and fill in between these with our flowers and foliages. Let's start with the foliages first. Got some bird nest fern from Amy's Orchids, and with this bird nest I just cut into the foliage and then peel back. So I'm cutting into that foliage and peeling back to give myself a stem. And then they can be inserted back into the foam. With the bird's nest foliage, I want to ensure that it looks like a bird's nest fern actually would look like. It was actually planted inside this arrangement. So having them radiate out from a central area is important. adding depth and dimension is important as well. So see how I've sneaked this one inside that so that it's coming out from that central radiation point. That makes it look as if our spheres were dropped down right into the center of the arrangement. Wow, look at this one. It's spatulated 2-on-1. Almost looks like a staghorn fern. That's gorgeous. It's always a treat when you get a beautiful piece of foliage like that. There, it looks like it's coming right out of the center of the bouquet itself. Next, a few stems of Aurelia. Again, I'm going to have those breaking out at the center of the bouquet. It's going to help conceal a little bit of my mechanics and also help everything blend together. Now notice how we've put those both together so that they're all radiating out of that same spot. So my next placement is leatherleaf. Yeah, I know. There's a lot of you that think leatherleaf is an old-fashioned foliage, but I believe that it's new again, and because it looks so great and it adds so much texture, it's perfect for this, because the juxtaposition of the texture of this fern to these kermit-covered spheres is wonderful. I love the way that leatherleaf made an appearance at the Olympics, giving great texture to those gorgeous bouquets that were awarded to all the medal winners. We're going to add it out here on the end too, to build some surface texture. The great thing about this too, at the far end, I've created a surface area for the leatherleaf again, and we'll move our sphere in, and we can actually set it on top of that foliage, and then arrange the foliage on top of it, so that it looks as if it's a portion of the arrangement, and really works into the whole scheme of having this be a complete tablescape. The next step is our brunia. And again, look at how this brunia's started to create a little bloom on the inside. We've got a little texture of red there. That's just an amazing find, and it's something that you can't ask for in every bunch, but it appears in some of the most incredible products that they have here at Esprit Salt Lake. We're using these in clusters in a similar fashion to the way that we clustered the spheres of Kermit Pom-Poms. This is a great way to use repetition of form and shape in our flower arrangements. The great part about lotus pods is that each one of them has its own very unique and distinctive personality. This stem is actually shaped that way. And again, it's going to be reflecting down and into the flower arrangement. So what a perfect place to use that. Another great way to add that one. This one, starting to face forward. Another one growing away. It's almost like they're ladies that are dancing across the back of the arrangement. Now our green hypericum. Again, I'm going to cluster that. So we're going to place it in one location. Another good spot. Take a couple more of those back there. I'm going to refine this one. Make sure it's nice and tight. And this one can come back here to give a little bit more emphasis to that bundle as well. Beautiful green fashion roses. I'm fascinated by the colorations that Esprit Miami chooses for roses. This is a really good example. Green fashion is just incredible. And it's a designer flower created for designers. That's one of the things that Esprit understands so very well, is that their flowers serve a function in both color and shape and style, and help create arrangements that are meaningful. Again, notice that I'm just grouping these throughout the arrangement and putting in collections of 2, 3, or 4. Many times I get asked about whether we should use 4 or 5 or 2 if there's a magic number. A lot of those old-fashioned design formulas have somewhat gone by the wayside. At the same time, it needs to be aesthetically pleasing, and it also needs to be sure that it's beautiful and that the scale's correct. Just as we extended our leather leaf, we're going to extend our roses as well. I'd like to see a couple of these peeking out. From the center of our arrangement as well. Now these are some real gems. Beautiful green ranuncula. And we'll want to showcase these. So we're going to make sure that we use them nice and long. have them extending out. I'm going to go ahead and move that lotus pot a little bit so that we really get to see those. We're going to shorten up our hypericum. Reserved this spot for a couple of those gorgeous full-headed blossoms so that they're coming directly out of the arrangement right towards the people who will be viewing. You'll notice I've got a couple places, maybe one here, one on the back side, maybe one here. Those are going to be perfect spots for my Kiwi Hydrangea. Isn't that beautiful? Look at that great green coloration. And again, what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut it relatively long so that when I go into place with it, it's going to seem like it's part of the design. And again, it starts to mirror that same shape. So isn't it great the way it sits on top of that sphere right there? That's perfect. Remember, when you're looking for a great hydrangea, these hydrangeas that come from Esprit are premium. There's a big difference when you're looking at cost competitive factors. This one may be a few dollars more, but remember, it's completely different than what you might see here. These are less expensive, but notice, that entire bunch is less hydrangea than this single blossom. I think that's starting to look complete. Now, we just have a few more details to add to it. I reserved one of my spheres and didn't place it into the design so that it can go up inside the arrangement in the center of the Manzanita branch. It's a great place for it to rest right in the middle up there. My final step is to add some beautiful faceted jewels up inside the tree itself. These are plastic jewels that are available from Handy Floral Products. They come with a thread on the back, but since I'm using Manzanita, I can remove that monofilament and just take that ring and place it directly on the Manzanita branch itself. Same thing with the larger prism. It's a beautiful faceted prism. And again, we'll just attach it directly using that ring. Now, because they're plastic, again, they're lighter weight and they still have an amazing reflective quality. So let's get those guys on there. All of these have a wonderful hint of that laser lime color inside of them. And so they're absolutely gorgeous. The light's going to pick up the extra green from around this arrangement. It's a perfect way to finish out this beautiful background for our Prom Profits show we'll have here at Esprit. So, it's a perfect special event centerpiece, all in coordinating green colors, courtesy of the great cut flowers here at Esprit Wholesale in Salt Lake City. Until next week, keep having fun with flowers.